I don't think a lot separated them. But in the second half, the Crusaders controlled possession brilliantly.
And territory, didn't they? They just basically stuffed them down that end and they just couldn't get out. When your best player barely has any influence on the game, it's very hard to win a final. Damian wasn't bad. He just wasn't it. For the rest of us who aren't Crusaders fans, it's kind of a bit like being happy seeing your ex with her new guy. It's one of them, oh, hi, kind of happies. Yeah.
Welcome to the DSPN.
He's given him. Oh, there you go. He was forward. Oh, a punch up now in midfield. Fraser's involved.
The Devlin Sports Podcast Network.
Welcome to the podcast, people. Martin Devlin, Lachlan Waugh, another edition of the DSPN. We're talking Super Rugby today. We're going to make the whole podcast about Super Rugby. The All Blacks, of course, yes, named, but we're going to deal with all of that tomorrow and just spend today looking at the competition and the final in Christchurch on the weekend. Tony Johnson called that game for Sky Sport. He joins us, as well as that Steve Gordon, a man who just bleeds Mooloo blood. Why can't they get over the line? The Chiefs, 3 losses in a row. And then Jeff Parks out of Australia for an Aussie perspective. Just on the competition as a whole, and did the right team win? We've got a little tight five key questions from the final to deal with as well. If you're listening across Rover, wherever you get your favourite podcasts, you get the full audio version of the show here on the DSPN YouTube channel. We slice it all up and package it for you so that you can watch it at your convenience. Leave us a comment as always and hit that subscribe button. We need you. We need you to hit the subscribe button. The more subscribers we get, that just means the better the boss likes it. And that just means we can continue to provide all of this content for free. We're trying to get to 8,000 subscribers as quick as we possibly can and 10,000 by Christmas. Thank you so much for supporting us. Again, it's all Super Rugby today, and we'll deal with the naming of the All Blacks plus the NRL and the Warriors' loss to Penrith tomorrow. Let's take the learnings then.
Marty Sermons, brought to you by WebWonks. Generate online leads with WebWonks. Doctors for your Google data.
We live in an amazing world, and it's wasted on the crappiest generation of just spoiled idiots.
5 key learnings. I love that word. From the Super Rugby final, in no particular order. Defence wins championships. Look, I said it last week. I'll say it again. I'm not the first to say it. I'm not the last who's ever going to say it. It's one of the most monotonously repeated cliches in all of sport. It's also one of the truest. The Crusaders conceded just 38 points across 3 playoff games, 12 to the Reds, 14 to the Blues, 12 to the Chiefs. The semi and the final were won by 7 and 4 points respectively. It's not flash. It's just courageous, relentless defence. And as you know, you don't need to score a lot when you barely concede any. That's what wins titles. And now they've got 13 of them. Rob Penney's not such a bad coach after all, is he? The media pile-on last year was a disgrace. Lazy, hysterical, click-chasing coverage. All those sacking calls and rubbish headlines, no analysis, no real perspective applied. The players say they did it for Penney. That was the message coming out of the dressing room in Christchurch on Saturday night. That says rather a lot more to me than anything written or said about the man last year. Hey, look, and I know, I'm as guilty as anyone. We all get predictions and calls wrong. That's okay. That's not so bad. What was wrong about last year was the way he was treated, the way he was being called out purely for clickbait purpose. In the end, Rob Penney wins. He who laughs last, laughs loudest. Damian McKenzie. Just like in the quarterfinal versus the Blues, he couldn't quite land the big moments. A couple of crucial kicks went astray. The Chiefs tried to play through him, but the Crusaders went at him hard and early, just like New South Wales did in Sydney, if you remember, in the round-robin match. Look, this isn't on him alone, but when your best player barely has any influence on the game, it's very hard to win a final, let alone any major match in any professional competition. Damian wasn't bad, he just wasn't it, which the Chiefs needed him to be, which the All Blacks are going to need him to be. Which brings us to the C word. No, it's not choke, it's close. The Chiefs can't close. 3 finals now under Clayton McMillan, 3 losses. It's not choking, let's make that clear, but it is a pattern. Somehow they need to learn how to win these games, because in terms of the round robin, they were the best team in the competition. And finally, I'm taking the learnings, the numbers. 13 full Super Rugby titles now for the Crusaders. It's just extraordinary, isn't it? You strip out the 2 COVID years and they've won nearly half the 28 international format comps since 1996. That's one every 2 seasons, virtually. A phenomenal record. Legendary English striker Gary Lineker once said, I quote, "Football is a simple game. 22 players chase a ball around for 90 minutes and in the end, Germany always wins." Same goes here. Super Rugby is a Southern Hemisphere comp with teams from all over the joint. And the Crusaders always win. The stats don't lie. Even after last year's disaster, are any of us really surprised?
Martin Devlin.
More on the Super Rugby final over the weekend. Again, people, we're going to deal with the All Black squad naming tomorrow with Tony Johnson. Go through a tooth comb. All the major talking points and questions.
The Tight 5.
5 quick questions on the Super Rugby final, though, and the season. When this guy yells, we move on to the next one. Lachlan, first question. Did the Crusaders deserve to win?
Yes.
Did they deserve to win the competition?
Yes, because they won the final.
Why
And
did they-
unlike the Chiefs, they didn't lose in the first week of the final, so deserved to host it and therefore deserved to win it.
Why did they deserve to win the final?
Because they played better. They were the better side. It was very even first half. I thought it was a hell of a game for the first 40 minutes. It was back and forth. I don't think a lot separated them. But in the second half, the Crusaders controlled possession brilliantly.
And territory, didn't they? They just basically stuffed them down that
They
end
did.
and they just couldn't get out.
When you deny them field position and you deny them the ball, well, there's no chance that them will do anything or
The
can do
Tight
anything.
5.
All right, we've done you. Did the Chiefs choke?
I think they choked in the first week of the finals. That's when the choking happened. They should have won that game against the Blues. They've been a better side than the Blues all year, and to lose that, you're then on the back foot for the rest of the finals. They were beaten on the day by a better side against the Crusaders.
Agree.
I thought the Chiefs were quite shoddy in parts. There were moments where they made mistakes that felt very uncharacteristic, and when they needed their forwards to step up physically. Now, their scrum was great, but then the Crusaders got a bit better in the second half of the
Certainly
scrum.
did, yes.
But apart from the scrum, the Chiefs physically, I don't think, had much of an edge.
Mick said during the week, he said that the Chiefs got far too much firepower for the Crusaders. Where was it? That's my question.
Well,
it's not a choke, but whatever those guys that were expected to perform or play at their highest, they didn't.
Your backline, namely your first 5, plays
We're
his
going to talk
best
about him in a second.
when your forwards aren't maybe dominating but have an edge.
Yeah.
And
Presenting you
none
with
of
good
that
ball
really
use.
worked
No,
out for
that's
the
right.
Chiefs.
So, next question. Did Damian McKenzie fluff his lines? And I'm going to say no, but we just didn't see enough of him. Now, in these situations where your forwards aren't doing what you need to do, that's where you've got to have a plan B in your own locker as a player. You've got to be able to do other things. And he just seemed a little lost at times. And it was kind of like, oh, this isn't working. I don't know what to do now to wrest some control back of this game. Because we needed to see more of him, and the Chiefs needed more of him.
Well, it's hard on a first 5, a back who is smaller than a lot of other guys on the field, who does rely on a forward pack to give him the platform that he needs to play well. It's hard for him to do that when they're not really giving him that platform. And the thing with the Crusaders that I think has shown through mainly over the last few weeks has been the physical game that they've been playing.
Yeah.
I don't think it was as evident during the regular season, but they went up a notch in the finals.
They did. And they do this every year. They did it in 2023 as well, didn't they? They brought something that the
in
Chiefs weren't used
2022
to.
as well.
So, look, I thought, the whole time I was thinking, where is McKenzie? I was just waiting for him to...
He wasn't bad. He was just ineffective.
Yeah, he's just... Fletcher Newell played the whole match, Lachlan. That's not allowed. There's a sports scientist out there, someone who's spitting his porridge out here and that. What do you mean he played 80 minutes? He can't.
No.
Well, the figures say that you can't. The biomechanic chemistry says it's impossible. He played 80 minutes and got better.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure...
He owned the scrum in the second half.
I think the Chiefs' front row came off after 50 minutes.
50 minutes they replaced their front row. And Fletcher Newell's still there. What does this tell us, people? It's rubbish is what it is, isn't it?
One of his best games as well.
Yeah.
Like the whole
Leave them
team,
bloody on.
his production's gone to another level. It feels that Fletcher Newell's a great one because when he got brought into the All Blacks a few years ago, everyone's like, no one really knew who he was, and he was playing well. Seemed to be a favourite of maybe Jason Ryan's when he took over as the forwards coach for the All Blacks. And not that he's been bad, but we're just waiting for him to really go to that level that we've been sort of told, and it feels like he's done that the
Best
second
game
half
he's
of the
played
season.
all season. Yeah, he was absolute magnificent. If there was going to be a man of the match, I probably would have ticked his box. 2 quick questions. I know it's not 5, it's 6. Did Angus Gardner have a good game?
Yeah, I don't think he had a bad game. I think
I thought the TMO was just a little bit too TMO for me.
The Crusaders no try in the second half that would have made it. I think it would have made it 18-12 with a kick to come, and it was before they got a penalty where the ball got, I think, charged in or stripped or something. I was a bit confused as to why that wasn't a try.
Well, what happened was he ended up falling on the wrong side, and the rule was in the past you were allowed to play the ball there, but now the rule is you've actually got to leave the ball and come back around and come back in through the gate.
See, that, yeah. But now I was watching it at the pub, so I couldn't hear the commentary. The TV said something else.
Yeah, well,
the graphic got it wrong.
Angus Gardner was explaining that well, and I thought he was explaining that to the crowd more than anything, just letting them know exactly.
Yeah, apart from that one, there wasn't a moment that made me feel the refs screwed that one up.
See, and isn't that great at the end of a game like that we don't talk about the referee final one? Yes! So was the cowbell thing just a big nothing in the end?
There was some there. Couldn't you hear them? Pre-game, I'm pretty sure, unless
they weren't very loud at the end.
Well, no, of course they weren't, but I'm pretty sure there was some cowbell noises of sorts, whether they were because there was an app on a phone because there was people at the pub playing the app. No, it didn't matter. I don't think anyone really thought it really mattered going into it.
I think that if it wasn't a pre-planned idea to get a hell of a lot of publicity,
that's exactly what it was.
I'm actually giving Colin Mansbridge the nod here and saying that was well done, mate, because you actually got everyone talking about that final. And I don't know whether
I think everyone was. I think it just added another layer.
Good.
I think everyone was already talking about the final. Well, we need storylines off the field.
Final one then. Yes. Say it.
What are you up to now? 7 or 8.
Congratulations, you Crusaders.
Yeah, congratulations.
Say it with love.
Congratulations, Rob Penney. I'll say that with love.
Tell you what, if you are for anywhere else in the country, congratulations to the Crusaders. If you're in Crusaders country, you should be delighted, you should be happy, you should be celebrating. For the rest of us who aren't Crusaders fans, it's kind of a bit like being happy seeing your ex with her new guy. It's one of them, oh, hi, kind of happies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
happy for
you try to find the silver linings. Well, best team was.
Yeah, great. Nice new car you got there.
Yeah. It's better looking than me as well.
So are the Crusaders.
This is the DSPN.